Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. If you are not familiar with this show, let me tell you what this show is about. So, this is a show where we like to have real talk about real things. Since we are a part of a Step Ahead Tutoring Services, we like to think of this as an educational programming, a learning show, right? So when our guests come to talk about their life stories or, they talk about things like homeschooling or disabilities or, any of, I'm trying to think what else, robots taking our jobs, right? So all of this is shared experiences and it's also sharing our knowledge with you. And we also want you to learn from these things, right? So this is kind of like an interesting educational programming, right? Hopefully I'm vocalizing that right. And today is no different than any other show. I am looking forward to this show. And I know I say that in every single show, but I am especially looking forward to this show because I have a repeat topic. And I love it when I have repeat topics. And that topic is talking with tutors. Hopefully you could see that. Okay. Talking with tutors, part 8. So this is, I'm just going to change those colors a little bit so you can see that. Okay, there it is. All right. Talking with tutors, part 8. So I am looking forward to this because when I have an opportunity to talk to other tutor entrepreneurs, we get to geek out about the tutoring industry, because it's like we don't really connect as much as we should. So this is a moment where I like to meet other tutors, other tutor entrepreneurs, and kind of get a feel of how things are for them. So whenever I have an opportunity to geek out about the tutoring industry, I jump right on it. So let me tell you who my guest is today. His name is Ray Steffen. And let me tell you who is Ray Steffen. I'm going to give you his little bio here. From fear, anxiety, struggle, and avoidance in math class to being hired on the spot twice, working in a tutoring center, which he didn't even know existed, to being chased down by the math supervisor at his first out-of-state interview, he has his own business today. Awesome. All right, so I am looking forward to this conversation. So we're just going to go right ahead and get started. Hi, Ray. How you doing today?
Good, Gabriella. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. So we kind of just met out of the blue. You
Yeah.
friended my Facebook page, and we've been very chatty, and I just decided, hey, I want to know who this person is. So I reached out to you, and here we are. So it's kind of funny how things work.
Yeah, it really is. I loved your robot comment in the intro there. That was robots taking over our jobs. That was one of my questions the other day. I posted on Facebook and I said, is it possible for robots to actually, replace the human interaction or the human need in our field? And I didn't get too much feedback there, but it's with this whole, I don't even know what it's called, chat something. It's a question. It's a question you got to take into consideration.
Chat GPT.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah.
I don't really know what it is either. So maybe we'll touch on that today. So
Maybe.
so let's get to know who you are. So tell us
Sure.
about yourself.
I kind of fell into tutoring. I didn't see myself, taking this business very, very far. I actually wanted to go into real estate. And honestly, I was never really good at math. But I actually didn't want to teach, honestly. This story is kind of a long story, but it just kind of fell into my lap. And then I got like pretty good at it. And people kept telling me like, Ray, you should keep going with this. You should scale this out. And I'm like, I don't really know how to scale. And I was spending a ton of money on marketing for real estate. I was, sending out flyers left and right, and nothing was happening. But I kept getting more and more clients for tutoring. I'm like, what is going on here? What am I doing something right? Am I doing something that people like? And I was just trying to like help these people, help these families out as best I possibly could. And it just grew and grew and grew. And my passion for it, my love for it, it started to flourish. And so here I am today. I'm like, you know, I feel so bad. I have to say no. I haven't said no to anybody in a really long time. This is the first year I've had to say no to people. I don't know what that's from. Maybe it's from the pandemic, the results from that. Kids feel left behind. Teachers are getting harder on them. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I was never really good at math either, to be honest with you. But college, something clicked in college, and it suddenly it made sense to me. It was a really weird feeling. I'm like, wait, do I understand math? Do I understand what's going on here? And I did, and I was able to take that found knowledge, and I started helping other people with math. It was a very weird time for me.
That's interesting, and that's a very common thing I hear, which is, I don't know what it is about math that is like a is like kryptonite to
It is.
yeah to kids and to parents. So
The parents,
may-
yes.
yeah, so maybe can you tell me your thoughts on that? What is it about math that's so like there's a brick wall?
Yeah. From what I've seen lately, it is this need or this, I don't know, craving to get it right away. And I see the patience of these students is very, very minimal. And so when you don't get something right away, it becomes quote unquote hard. These kids are like, I can't do this. I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, just hold on a second. Take your time. Read it. This one kid this morning was doing a word problem, and it was probably like 4 or 5 sentences long. And I could tell like he maybe read it like halfway, and he's like, I don't get it. I'm like, dude, hold on. It's going to take some time here. So I think the patience part of it, um, there's no instant gratification when you're doing it. There's no like you can push a button and get the answer. Unless you're using photo math, obviously, but hopefully not. But yeah, so maybe that's it. As for the parent aspect of it, you know, a lot of parents have just been out of it for so long. The last time a lot of these parents, especially the level I'm at, geometry, maybe one of your hardest math classes in your high school career, pre-calculus. When was the last time mom or dad or aunt or uncle did pre-calculus? When was the last time they graphed, a sine or cosine or tangent function? Probably, you're talking like 17, 18, 20 years. So
Mhm.
these parents, they're struggling just watching their kids struggle. And so they're looking for people like me, looking for people like us to come in and take that stress and that pain away.
Yeah, and I think if you kind of look over the span of like 20, 30, 40 years, the curriculum has changed.
Oh,
Like, I don't even know the word, but it has changed so frequently and
so much. I've been teaching
so much.
since I don't even
Yeah.
know, but I probably was assigned to rewrite our entire curriculum 4 or 5 times in the, I guess, 13 years I've been teaching. I guess, yeah. And so if you think I'm still pretty young, pretty fresh in the field, considering 13 years sounds like a long time, but I still feel like I'm learning every single day, every single year. I go into back to school, and over that span of 13 years, I think I've rewritten the curriculum 4 or 5 times. Just new textbooks, um, new publishers, new state standards, new state tests, and things get passed down from the top. Do, and so.
Mhm.
Rewriting curriculum is constant.
Well, when you say rewriting curriculum, what do you mean?
Um, Basically, expectations. For a lot of our curriculum is designed based off state standards, and so when the standards change, all right, well now we got to revamp our curriculum. At 1 year for geometry, it was very very heavy 2-column proofs. 2-column proofs. Okay, yeah, let's focus on 2-column proofs. Then that went out of the window. It was like, okay, no more 2-column proofs. Okay, well, rewrite the curriculum. Now we're not going to focus on 2-column proofs anymore. For geometry, we're going to focus on circles. Okay, guys, this year we're doing heavy circles. Okay, the following year, all right, we're not too interested in circles anymore because I think triangles are cooler. So we're gonna rewrite the curriculum and make it focus on triangles. Like I don't know. It's you're just like, wait, what? And the standards they changed so much in New Jersey. We went from the Common Core standards to the New Jersey state standards to the New Jersey math standards. And then it was like, they revamped all those letters, like, A.C.A.B./C. I don't even know. So they revamped all those acronyms and letters and stuff like that. And every time they do that, we got to rewrite our curriculum as well.
So it's like as everything keeps changing, you have to keep changing. So it's like you're on your toes constantly.
Oh, constantly. There was one year we had a math coach come in and he basically told us, how we had to reteach the style of solving a two-step equation, or just basically solving for X. Let's just say you're solving for X. And a lot of people, when they're solving for X, are just, rewriting an equation. We kind of like work vertically, and it makes this V pattern, this V shape. When you get your final answer, the X is on the bottom, right? And he said, well, we can't do that anymore. We have to work horizontally. And I'm like, whoa, so even that alone, you're changing things from working vertically to horizontally, a lot of parents, they see these changes. They're like, well, why is this? I was doing multiplication with a fourth grader this morning. And, it's not just like, 4 times 8 equals 32. It's all right. Well, I want you to draw, 4 groups. I want you to draw this. I want you to draw this. It's not, whoa, man. And so, yeah, things change, and teachers expect you to do certain things their ways. So you have to kind of appeal to that as well.
So do you get the stubborn parents that are like, because I get them where they try to teach their kids themselves, and then they realize it's they can't do it, or it's not what it was back in the day, and and now they have to outsource. So do you get those kinds of parents?
Yeah. And the kids battle back hard. There's a different kind of relationship between the kids and their parents. I don't know what it is, but when a tutor comes into play, the kids sort of like, they tend to listen to the tutor, whereas the mom could be saying the same exact thing that I'm saying, but the kid's like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. And then sometimes I'll just come in and be like, no, I think what she's saying is right. It's got some validity there. And the kid's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. So I totally understand the mom and the son, or the mom and the daughter context. Where the parent does try to come in and teach their kid, but sometimes the kids just, I don't know, especially in the teenage years, they don't want to believe their mom or dad. Like, I don't know. So they call me in.
Yeah, I think it's like I think the kid sees like the let's say the mom, for example, the kid sees the mom as the mom, and then the mom's trying to be a teacher, and it's like, it's sort of, you have to be objective as a teacher. So so now you're trying to be teacher and mom, but the kid sees you as mom. I think it's like the kid sees you as your mom. I don't see you as teacher.
Yeah, and when the frustration builds, from what I've seen, when that frustration starts to build, let's say the kid doesn't understand what the mom is trying to say, there's going to be frustration there, and that causes a lot of stress, a lot of tension between the mother and the daughter, the mother and the father, and the son. Doesn't really matter, and it causes a lot of stress, and it's unneeded, unnecessary stress that I see, tension in the family, and so that's another reason why people or parents will call in a tutor or find a tutor and say, hey, listen, can you just handle this? Can you handle this for me? Give me some good grades, and I'll be happy. So that's what we do. Yeah. So part of like why I just kind of like really dove in deep this year was because of that. Was because I did see a lot of tension, a lot of stress between family members when the kid in high school is stressing out or freaking out because they don't know what's going on, and so they're when they're freaking out, not really understanding what's happening in math class, it affects everybody else in the family. It affects the dinner table, when there's stress. But on the flip side of that, if the student was, feeling confident in themselves, understanding what's going on. It was like this weight was lifted, this air was cleared out of the house, and these kids could breathe easier. The parents were happier. They could talk about math without having to get into a fight over understanding something like that. And it was a cool, eye-opening experience for me, because it really sharpened my why I do what I do.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things that I notice in my sessions is it's not just the academic
Oh
part
no.
that you're working on.
Yeah.
It's the social part, it's the professional part, it's
Oh
mental
yeah.
health, it's when
I
you
think it's more so that than the academics, actually.
how so?
So academics is very just understanding the content. Let's say understanding the content is very surface level, right? So it's like, okay, you could do number 8. That's fantastic, cool. But your motivation going forward, learning how to learn, learning what to look forward to, how to ask questions in class, what to do if you're confused. What should your notes look like? It's not just about, hey, I understand number 8, I'm good to go. There's so much more to it. That's why I say academic. Or just content knowledge. It's very surface level kind of stuff. So going beyond that, is really, I think, where good students tend to excel. I one of my profiles somewhere in one of the accounts I've made over the years, I said my goal is for your child to not need me. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Because this is
Yeah,
business,
like
right?
what?
But yeah, like you don't want me. So like, yeah, my goal is for your child to be independent to the point where they can say like, no, I don't need Ray anymore. I don't need Ray. I got this on my own. That's my goal. That's our goal, right? That should be all of our goals. We want these kids to be not dependent on us, because we're not the ones taking the test. I can't follow you to school and take your test for you. You got to take this test. That's why I'm here. I'm here to hopefully provide you with the confidence in your own self, to be independent, to go forth and be free. Because I'm not going to be able to follow you to college. I can't follow you outside of college. You have to do this on your own. You're going to eventually need to figure this out. And so that's my end game.
Right. So you want your students to be able to think for themselves, to
Yeah.
challenge themselves, to push themselves, to not settle for
Yeah.
the bare minimum.
100%. And challenge themselves, push themselves, but then also know what to do in the face of adversity. Know how to react. Know how to perceive it. I think perception is huge. Let's
Ooh,
say you
please
get, yeah.
elaborate.
Oof, yeah. Oh man, I love this. I can go on forever. I'm sorry if I talk too much. There's so much. Perception is just such. This life is life, right? So if we come across, something terrible that's happened in our lives, it's all about the way you perceive it. Focusing more on math class. Math statistically is one of your hardest classes of high school. But you know what? It's also a challenge, and so you could look at this in a way and say like, oh gosh, I have to go to math class. It doesn't matter if those walls are painted in gold or if you're giving out candy in class. It's still a math class, right? But you can see this in a different way. This is a challenge, and it's hard. Math is hard. It's a challenge, and it's hard. So look at it this way. Change your perspective of it. Do you get that challenge anywhere else? This is an awesome opportunity for you to grow, to get better, to get stronger, to develop those calluses of your brain, right? We work out, we get calluses on our hands, and guess what? Our hands get stronger. But now you're developing calluses on your brain. Like, that's amazing. Do you get that opportunity anywhere else? Anywhere else? Do you see that perspective change? That change of perspective? Oh, so cool. And if you could get those kids to think that way, and instead of shuddering away from a word problem after you read it only halfway, maybe read it again and read it again and read it again. And maybe like say to yourself, like, wow, if I conquer this question, nothing else can stand in my way today. Nothing else. I'm gonna crush my day. I'm gonna get my goals done. And just for the simple mental shift, simple mental perception change.
I know, isn't
I
it
hope that was
amazing?
clear.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing when it's um it's sort of like molding clay. I know it's like a common metaphor. It's like molding clay, and when it becomes that beautiful statue, you're like, whoa, before you were just a ball of clay, right? And now, now you're just this magnificent statue, so
Art.
it's arts. and
So
it's
cool.
so great to see the impact of your work, and when you've molded them and you've tackled their low confidence, and you constant reassurance, you got this, keep going, you got this, let's break it down, let's look at, let's try another way, there's all these different ways that you can do it. And when you see that light bulb go off, and you see things start to click, and then you see they do things on their own now, and now they're confident, and now they want to take on the next challenge, and then the next challenge, and it's like, whoa, I did that. So
Yes. Yeah.
it's like it's beautiful to see the effect of the fruit of your labor, so to speak, right? And
Yeah.
so it's beautiful to see all the work that you put into the student, and then how they turn out to be.
So much so. And I love that aspect of tutoring, because you can see that growth so easily because it is one-on-one. And that one-on-one atmosphere, it just makes it so much better because it's so much easier to measure, so much easier to follow. And literally, in an hour session, you could say, hey, this is where we were, and now you're here. Let's just go back 60 minutes ago and take a look. You couldn't do this one question, and now you just did 7 in a row, 100% with accuracy. It's so cool.
I know, it's awesome. All right, so let's get into more of the technical stuff. So
Sure.
I assume it's just you doing it. Do you have employees, other tutors? What's your setup?
No, I don't. Anybody that I recommend, I say this is you. I don't want to take any percentage of it. I don't want to take a cut of it. I recommend a lot of people. I give a lot of business away, just because I think all of us tutors, we're all in the same team, because I'm one person. I can't be in a zillion other places. I only have so much time. We all only have so much time, and there's not many really good professional tutors out there that can really change these lives. So I don't take any percentage or anything. Anybody that I recommend, like this is a person that is purely dedicated to you. They are not an employee of mine. I don't get anything out of that at all. I don't want them to have the employee mindset either. Sometimes when you're working for somebody else and you're giving part of your cut to somebody else, we've all been there. We sort of get in this this isn't mine really. I'm giving this money to him, so I'm not really going to be fully dedicated to this kid. So I don't know. I don't take a single cut. So yeah, it is just me. I everything that I write, anything that I post, that's me. And my sister has been asking me lately. It's kind of funny. She just graduated from Marist University, writing degree. She's like, "Can I write some articles for you? I think I can. I get some good content that might help people." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." So she's been helping me out just a little bit, just with publishing content and stuff. But purely just my business. It's all through word of mouth. Like I said in the pre-show, I haven't spent any money on marketing for tutoring at all. It is purely just word of mouth. And sometimes I'm like, how did you get my number? And they're like, oh, I got it from this person and this person. And the chain just kind of interweaves. And I just try to stop following it. I'm just like, oh, sure. How can I help you? and that's about it. That is the business side of it. And I honestly don't even see it as a business. I tell my wife every day, I'm just like, yeah, I got to go help some kids here. And today, I did 3 sessions this morning before the game today. And, I just go and I help these kids, that's it. I don't really see it as a business. I don't see it as selling at all. I never thought of it like that at all. The way I see it from perception of families.
So I would think about how to phrase this now. So
Yeah, it's
typically,
tough.
how many? So you're a solopreneur, right? So you're you know what?
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't want to hire anybody. I just want to I'm a one man show.
Well, I don't see myself as a one man show either. It's kind of a weird. My brain is very weird, right? So I, you know, I have people that I recommend for chemistry. I have people that I recommend for English. I have people that I recommend for SATs, ACTs, and I've given a ton of business away. And I consider all of us a team. And here's why I say that, because there was one time I did actually give away a job, and this dude that I mentioned, I'm not going to mention any names, crushed my reputation. You know, he was just terrible. Like, he just had terrible people skills. And I'm like, he was a brilliant man, but he was just like I don't know, he just didn't know how to work with kids, I guess, and moms and dads. So like I tell people, like, anybody that I recommend to you is a professional. They're going to handle themselves in a professional way. They're going to show up to your house ready to go, focused 100% on your kid, not on giving me a cut. You know, we're here purely just to help you out, just to kind of like answer your questions and make sure that we're taking your worries and concerns away. So I don't consider myself individual, because if you're like, hey, Ray, you know any chemistry tutors? Yeah, I got it. I'll take care of you. Hey, Ray, do you know any English tutors? Yep, I got you. I'll take care of you. Or Ray, you know, my son is junior now. He's taking the SATs, ACTs. Do you know anybody? And I used to do that myself, but I stopped doing that. But yeah, so now I recommend, you know, anybody that needs anything else, I'll reach out. I'll even find somebody for you. Somebody from Weehawken, New Jersey, offer me a big, huge paycheck, and I'm like, you know what? I got 2 kids of my own at home. I don't want that. I'm gonna find somebody for you. So I did. I found somebody within 30 seconds. I put a big Facebook post out there, and reached out to a bunch of contacts, and I said, looking for somebody from Weehawken, tutoring for blah 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 blah, this topic, and found somebody. Got their number. They're very qualified. Handed it over, and that was it. And I didn't take a single cut out of that, as long as this kid was getting her share. And that's what I told you. I said, I got an actual review. I got a 5-star review on Google just for doing that. I was like, wow, that's cool.
So you're a networking machine, right? So you built your business.
Yeah, I guess. I still don't know. I still don't really see it as a business. I guess it is. Maybe I should. Maybe I should actually start to see this as a business. I don't really know. But you know, I think it's important to, you know, I think your network is very, very important. Not so much about who you know, but I don't know what it is, but I've relied a lot on my network. I've relied a lot. You know, sometimes when I'm completely confused, I'm down and out, I'm like, I'll just put it out there. I'll just put it out there in the market, put it out there in the world, and just get feedback. You've seen some of the questions that I've asked online. I'm like, you know, like, I'll flat out just say, like, guys, help with, I got this person and this person. I need something. Where am I? Where's my brain at? Where should I be thinking? And you know, so I just put it out there and see what comes about. See what other people are thinking about it. And it tends to work, I guess.
So you put it out into the universe, right? So things that you
Yeah.
questions about, or things you want feedback on, and the universe returns it to you.
Yeah, hopefully returns it to the parents and the kids that are in need more than me.
Of course.
That's what my
So
focus is, really. Yeah.
so you said something interesting a while ago, that you should start seeing it as a business. So how do you see it right now? Do you see it as a hobby?
Just something I do after school. So, you know, I go to school. You know, I get out at 3 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, yeah, gotta go tutor. That's pretty much it. And you know, if I have time on Monday, I'll go play basketball. But normally I'm booked up until 10 o'clock, and I just feel bad for my wife sometimes, because she's home with my 2 girls, and she's taking care of business at the house, and it's just something that my wife and I have just over the years. It just sort of like evolved. Like, oh no, daddy, you know, daddy tutors. And my girls, my two girls are 9 and 6 right now. So, and they understand too, like, Daddy, do you have tutoring today? I'm like, no, I don't have tutoring today. Let's go for a bike ride. Or, yeah, I have tutoring today. Let me say goodnight to you right now before I'm not home until 10:30 at night. So it's just sort of like something that it's just, we've kind of adopted over the years and molded our lifestyle, really. But
So
yeah,
it's
like you said, maybe I should look at it more like a business aspect. Maybe I could help more people that way. I don't know. I guess I should read some more books on business.
you're starting off as it's like a convenient side hustle. Is that safe to say?
Um, yeah, I guess so. And again, like I said, most of my focus has just been seeing need, and maybe now that I say that out loud. Um, Maybe that's why people call me. Maybe that's why I get recommended by so many people, or people know me that way. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of like what I try to do. I like there's been times where I know some of these kids' issues before they even know that it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you not see this? How do you not see this is an issue right here? And I've had summer clients just from that one aspect alone. People will be like, "Hey, can you work with my kid twice a week in the summer?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm swimming on this day and this day and this day and this day, but yeah, I could work with you this day and this day, so it works."
So you're a busy man because like you go to school,
uh,
you swim, you play sports, and then kind of in between you have your tutoring sessions.
um, yeah, you
And you're a
know,
family man, of
s-
course.
s- yeah, first and foremost, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I say that after I just said I tutor till 10 o'clock every night. But no, they are my everything. They're everything to me. It's just they're just amazing. But yeah, 60, 70, 80 hour weeks are average for me. To be a full time teacher, obviously teaching public school, and then to tutor, 4 or 5 hours every single day, including weekends. Today was a 6 hour day. It keeps on going. So 70-hour weeks is pretty average uh, for me. But I still make sure that I follow this one quote. I don't know who said it, but it says, "No amount of success can compensate for failure in the home." I think it's what I want to. I think it's how it goes. No amount of success can compensate for failure in the home. And so I try to live by that. So I try to keep my energy level up when I get back home to my girls. Make sure that I'm not just expending all my energy on these other people. I want to make sure that I'm still coming back home and still giving them hugs and kisses and making sure that they've got my full undivided attention as well.
Yeah, and that brings up another interesting point about work-life balance. So that's the thing with tutoring. It's like you get one, and then you pick up one, and then another, and another, and another, and then it's like, and you're not just taking on, you know, the academics. Well, how do I? I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. When you're taking on so many clients, you're taking on all of their social issues and all of their emotional issues, and that
Oh,
in turn can weigh down on you. And if you're not careful, it leads to burnout, right? So it's
yeah,
like you. It sounds like you separate your business from your home life, and you don't let one affect the other.
for sure. Very important. Yeah, very, very important. I think if there is a way to write down like, oh, this is what I do, I would do it. But every single person, every single family is so different, so unique, and you see that over time. Um, that I just what I do is I just have to leave there knowing that I did the best I could, and that's good enough for me. If I can live with that, then that's how it's going to be. So and sometimes I do leave sessions where I say to myself, man, I could have been better, and it does affect me a little bit. or I'll get into like a heated argument with mom or dad, and that affects me a little bit, and I'll come home and I'll chit chat with my wife a little bit and just kind of open up, get it off my chest, and that works too. As like a balancing tool. But for the most part, the best tool that's worked for me to balance that home life work experience is especially with tutoring, is to walk into these homes and say, like, I'm here for you. Let's get to work. Let's get busy. And then after that session's over, leave it all on the table. And then I get back in the truck, go to the next session. I make sure that I blast the music in the truck to get my mind in the right state of mind, and give the next client my all. Give it all to them. That way I can leave there with a clear conscience that says that says to me I did everything I could.
Absolutely.
Then I get back in the truck and blast music again.
And you bring up another, I'm loving all of these great points you're bringing up. So now you're talking about self-care, which is very important for us entrepreneurs, especially in the tutoring industry.
Well, I can't serve my clients to the best of my ability unless I'm at my peak performance, right? I haven't worked. I'm not a big workout guy, and I'm like, man, I need to be better with myself. I got to treat myself better, or else I won't be able to serve my clients. It's a weird phenomena, but that's just the way I see it. I'm like, I have to eat right. I have to eat healthy. I have to be energized, and so that I could serve my people better.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to be present yourself in order to be present for other people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right. So let's get into the way that you tutor, right? So I'm assuming you're strictly online?
No. Actually, a lot of my clients have requested to go back in person. I used to be online quite a bit, but I've seen a lot of PTSD from kids being online. They're like, no, please come in person. So, yeah, I'm mainly in person, one-on-one, face-to-face, in person. Yeah, a lot of traveling, so that's things.
Yeah, PTSD. Please elaborate on that.
Yeah, sure. So it affected us all, right? The pandemic, and it affected us all. And individually, education-wise, in talking about the education aspect of it, learning behind a camera, learning from Zoom, learning from sharing a screen, learning from online textbook, online everything, Google Classroom, oh gosh, Google Docs, all this kind of stuff. It developed, I don't know what you want to call it, but a lot of kids did not have a fun experience. I think that kind of goes without saying. A lot of kids did not learn a lot at the level that they should have been learning. We see all the stats now that are finally coming out that these kids are now 5 years behind where they should be, 6 years behind where they should be. And we're now back in school in person, and a lot of kids are just failing. They're losing motivation. They forgot what it's like to be a student again. And, they spent years from the comfort of their own bed behind a camera. And they lost a lot of knowledge. They lost a lot of social interaction. They lost a lot. And so, yeah, that brings up some PTSD. If they get behind the camera again, and from what I've seen, at least, from my experience, at least, kids do not want to go back to that place. They don't want to go back to learning with a shared screen or turning their cameras on. Just that alone, right there alone. I still tutor a girl, actually, that will not turn her camera on. I've had conversations with mom and dad. I've had conversations with her brother. Her brother's kind of funny about that. But anyway, so, she just has, it's just flat out fear, anxiety. I worked with a girl, when she was in 6th grade. She just completely feared the camera. This right now, like here I am staring into the camera and talking to you, and we're online. Her anxiety was through the roof. She essentially just left. She left. She was just gone. She's like, I can't do this. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I mean by PTSD, I guess.
and it's interesting that, it's how this pandemic, it has sent so many kids back like 2 and 3 grades, and now and I mean over here in New York too, like it's you have families that maybe never had internet access, and all of a sudden now you have to find it, and now they have to get the devices to get on, and they never had it before, and now they have to get it, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
of course Wi-Fi. It's unstable itself, so it's so many things that it's so many ways that the pandemic has affected education.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yes. So much. So many ways. I think our school delivered thousands of Chromebooks, laptops. We put hotspots literally all over the town. Telephone poles, top of Dunkin' Donuts, just hotspots everywhere, for internet access. And, a lot of parents even had questions too. How do I access Zoom? How do I log into Zoom? What time do I log into Zoom at? How do you turn the camera on? There's just a little button on the bottom of the screen. Boop, there's camera. How do I comment in the chat? How do I answer this question in the chat? How do I show my work online? There's so many. Look at me. I don't have any notes here. I'm just off the top of my head. This is just stuff that we dealt with.
So how do you think the pandemic has affected your tutoring, your business? Do you think it's done good for your business, poorly for your business? What has the pandemic done for you?
Let's see how I can structure my answer here. During it, not good. I barely had any clients at all. Nobody online. But then again, teachers were very lenient as well. They weren't really challenging them as if they would challenge them in an actual classroom setting. So it was like, I understand everybody's sort of going through this thing. All right, guys, just do 1 through 3 for homework tonight, and whatever you can get it to me, you can get it to me. Stuff like that. So a lot of kids weren't really needing this private tutor, to walk them through 3 questions. Especially when it was like, all right, 3 questions are all multiple choice, so just guess. I know. So that was rough. That was rough for me. And then we started getting back into school, and my phone started ringing, and I started getting some text messages, and it wasn't until this year, the 2022-2023 school year, when I'm pretty sure all across New Jersey, county superintendents were instructed to basically, go back to we kept hearing this word, pre-pandemic, go back to pre-pandemic classroom atmospheres, where you were challenged. And so for me and my tutoring, that skyrocketed it. It was just almost uncontrollable. It's like, whoa, what's happening? And my wife was like, whoa, what are you doing? You're out every single night till 10 o'clock. I'm like, I don't know. Something's happening out there. It's weird. And sure enough, these kids had multiple textbooks all of a sudden again, taking notes, paper, pencil, tests and quizzes again, and classroom expectations, no chewing gum, no cell phones. It was like hardcore pre-pandemic stuff. And I kept hearing that word over and over again, pre-pandemic. Going back to detentions, going back to, getting involved in clubs and stuff like that. So we went from sitting in math class in our pajamas in our beds to going full blown back into the classroom. It was rough. So that part right there, in terms of tutoring, that part skyrocketed. So when there became a strong need for it, it was everybody off to the races at that point. But yeah, not so much during the actual pandemic. Not much need.
It went from like 0 to 60 in like a few months.
Yeah. The 2022-2023 school year was pretty wild, and also also like my own mindset changed as well, and that, and you can hear like my words and my what my focus is on. That changed. I think that also affected, my tutoring, my schedule as well. And because I used to be all about, oh, just find more clients, or charge more, or I used to be all about the money, the clients, and how do I find more clients, and how do I charge more, and all that kind of nonsense. And I was like, oh, this is so gross. Like it's so like I don't know. It just wasn't right. It wasn't sitting right with me. I was like, I turned into like a salesman. This is terrible. I never liked being sold anything. So it just wasn't right to me. And so I completely changed my perspective of it, my mindset, and turned it into, just trying to see if I can use whatever gifts that I have to take this anxiety away from these kids. Because, like I said, I was not good at math myself. I struggled through word problems, but suddenly I loved them. I was like, whoa, this is cool. So that shift right there for me gave me the gift. It gave me the ability, almost the responsibility to go out there and make sure that these kids could see that they could do it themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's like there was a period where, you so even before the pandemic, right? Things are pretty steady work wise, and then the pandemic hit and it just tanked, right?
Yeah,
And then now we're post COVID. I don't know if we call it, but I guess we're post COVID and things just went
sure.
boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It certainly did go boom. I've never denied work before. I've always said yes to everybody. Like I said, I've denied a few jobs. I've given so many jobs away, and I've learned so much myself in this atmosphere that we're in. So much, and so, but yeah,
Awesome, awesome. All right, let's start to wind things down. We're having such a great conversation, but let's start to wind
yeah,
things down now. All right, so
sounds good.
do you have any words of wisdom? I like to ask my guests to give any words of wisdom. So, do you have any words of wisdom,
Absolutely.
some parting words of advice that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, um, I'll say that my business, right? I'm not a big fan of that, but hey, sure, my business did not change until my intent changed. So if you're looking to go out there and make more money and get more clients, it's probably not going to work that way until you change your intent. Why are you doing this? I'm doing this to make sure that I can go out there and take care of that stress and anxiety that these students and these parents are going through. So I changed my intent. That's it. Just change your intent. Figure out why you're doing this, and that mental shift, that mental mind shift, will skyrocket your business as well. And that is maybe a gold mine worth of intent for most people. Just to change your mental shift, change your intent, and you're going to see it once you change your intent and why you're doing this. You're going to see even your Facebook posts, they're going to change. What you follow will change. Um, your lifestyle will change. Your relationships with your peers and your spouses, it will all change because you'll be healthy mentally. Change your intent, and you'll watch your business grow.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm calling your business a business. I know you're like, it's kind of something I like to
I,
do, but
I'm gonna try it
I'm
myself.
declaring it. I'm declaring it in the universe. You have a business.
I'm gonna start telling people,
Uh,
yeah, I got a business. Look at me,
awesome.
CEO,
Yes.
also the COO and the COA, and all the other C's that there are out there. So many C's, whatever, and the
Awesome,
secretary.
awesome. You're everything. You're everything. Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, Ray, Steph, thank you so much for doing the show, and thank you for coming on and kind of
Gabrielle,
jumping
thank
into
you.
it.
Yeah, I love the raw conversation. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course, of course. All right. So now it is promo time. All right. So you guys, you can, he's easy to find because not a lot out there. So he has a website We have a short URL. He has a really long one, so we shortened it for you guys. So it is shortsurl.at/kcjz4. So I encourage you guys to, if you are, I didn't even ask you, what subjects do you tutor?
Sure. Basically, from fourth grade math up through pre-calculus. My specialty is geometry.
So that's interesting. I just caught this now. You were struggling with math in the beginning, and now all of a sudden, now you're a math tutor.
Yeah. There's little recipes that I've kind of come across that I don't know. I've had the ability to be a success. I'm not trying to like brag or anything like that. I've just had experiences where I know how to help these kids how to learn. I hope that doesn't come across as bragging, but I've seen it. I didn't believe it myself. But I'm like, wow, I've seen it. If we can just do these little things, you can learn any math. You can learn anything there is. And it's all about the foundational skills. So yeah, I didn't realize it when I was in high school. That's why I was bad. I was like, what is this stuff? I never made sense of this. Oh, this is so stupid. This is so dumb. Math is dumb. Until college, when I was like, wait a second, that makes sense to me. How'd that make sense? Wait, and I was able to apply it. Once I was able to apply it, I was like, wait, I can apply this stuff? Oh my gosh, this is easy. It made so much sense. It was easy. And then I started helping other kids, and I was the only statistics tutor in the entire tutoring center, which I didn't even know existed, the tutoring center. I was the only statistics tutor. I was so busy. I was one time I tutored an entire sorority of girls, and my girlfriend at the time, who was now my wife, she was like, you're not. And I was like, no, I got to go tutor this girl, like the most popular girls on campus. All my friends were like, whoa, Ray, how did you? I'm like, dude, I don't know. And so we were. It was nuts. It was nuts. Went from not liking math, not being good at math, to just clicking. So yeah, fourth grade math up to pre-calculus, but geometry is my specialty. I just kind of, again, something that just was thrown at me, and I just rolled with it, and it seems to be where a lot of the people need help at.
Absolutely. So, just want checking some things here. Yeah. So,
Sure.
So fourth grade up to pre-calculus in math. So you don't do English, reading, writing. You just
Yeah.
one subject only. You're just math.
Yeah. I used to do the SAT, ACTs. But like I said, I found this guy. He was just so much better at it than I was, and so I just give it all to him now. And the parents are so grateful, so welcoming for his contact information, that and he crushes it too. He makes me look good, so I get good feedback from that as well.
Awesome. All right, I just noticed a little error here in the contact information, so I fixed that. All right, so beautiful. So there you have it, fourth grade to pre-calculus, math only. So, and you're in New Jersey, so you're
Correct.
online and in person for your, well, not all of New Jersey, I'm assuming, but certain parts of New Jersey.
Pretty much all Bergen County.
All of Bergen County. There you go. All right. Yeah. So if you happen to be watching this right now and you're looking for an in-person tutor in Bergen County, New Jersey, or even if you're looking for an online tutor, the information is on your screen right now. For my video people, for my audio people, all of this is in the description. I'll give you his website again. We shortened it for you. That URL was so long, so we shortened it for you.
They can also actually right from my Facebook page. They can access that website too if they wanted.
All right, so there you go. So he is on Facebook. So it is facebook.com/theridgetutor. So go to his Facebook page, follow him on Facebook, and that very long URL is there in that little characteristic section part of the Facebook page. So go to his
Yep.
Facebook page, The Ridge Tutor. That is the account handle. He is also on YouTube. You can follow him on his YouTube channel. It is R Steffen 43. I put the long link there, but there you go. R Steffen 43. You can follow him on his YouTube channel. So I will give the URL again to his website. It is shorturl.at/KCJZ4. All of this information, of course, is scrolling below at the bottom of the screen if you are watching this on video. But if you're listening to this on audio, I didn't forget about you. All of this information is in the description. So however you are taking in this episode, the information is at your fingertips, you guys. So I encourage you to seek Ray's services. If you think you need it, go ahead and seek those services. Okay, and let me just share this promo. It looks like we're going a little overtime, but that's okay. And the promo, the first session is always free, right? So that's
Correct.
his promo to all clients, well, all new clients, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's always free. You got to make sure that we connect before I start charging them. Make sure that we're a good fit. The kid's happy with me, the moms and dads are happy with me, and we'll go on from there.
There you go. You have an honorable man, you guys. All right. So the first session is always free. So that is the promo for new clients. So that's an incentive for the new clients to seek Ray's services. So there you go. So that is the promo. The first session is always free. We want to share that. And I want to make sure you get that contact information again. So if you want to use his tutoring services, his website again, short url.at/KCJZ4. You could also go to his Facebook page. It is The Ridge Tutor. That is the account handle there. And you can also follow him on YouTube channel with the account name is R Steffen 43. So I encourage you to follow him on all of his social media and check out his website and get those services. All right. Well, Ray, thank you again for joining me today. This was an amazing conversation. It was definitely enlightening as well.
Thank you, Gabrielle. I think you're a great person to have a conversation with. You kind of carry the conversation well. You ask the right questions, questions that got me talking a lot. So very, very good moderator of the show here. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to put you backstage now. All right, you guys. All right. Let me get my stuff up here. All right, you guys. And that is it for the episode for today. So now I'm going to share my tutoring information. And some of you may be, watching or listening, and you're thinking, wait, did you just promote your competition? Like how you promoted one tutoring business over your own? Here's my answer to that. We are all in this together, right? So I don't look at other tutoring entrepreneurs as competition, right? I look at us as colleagues. So you have one resource and you have us, right? So if you come to us and you realize, hey, I'm not really feeling you guys, hey, that's okay. Here's a referral, right? So this is all about networking and we are all colleagues together. So that's why I like to promote other tutoring businesses as well and to really get the word out about tutoring and normalize tutoring. That is my goal for all of this. But yes, as this is a part of a Step Ahead Tutoring Services, I got to do my promo now. All right, so we talked a lot about tutoring, you guys. I definitely want to normalize tutoring. So but our company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, we do, one-on-one tutoring. We do test prep. We do college counseling. We also have in-person services for our local area of New York City. And we also provide online tutoring as well and also a lot of virtual workshops. So if you are looking for another tutoring resource, consider us. Our website is a stepaheadtutoringservices.com. You could also email us at success@astepaheadtutoring.com. You could also call or text us. Our phone number is 347-762 2838. You could also follow us on our many social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, YouTube, Eventbrite, WhatsApp, and I did say YouTube. I'm forgetting one. We're also on Instagram as well. So please follow A Step Ahead Tutoring Services on our multiple social media platforms. I, Gabrielle, definitely will appreciate the follow. So if you are looking for tutoring services, you're struggling with homework help, as my, colleague Ray talked about, you're kind of experiencing the effects uh, of the post-COVID world, right? And your child is falling behind 2 and 3 grades, and the virtual learning didn't really work out for you or for your child. Reach out to a tutor, right? You have one resource, you have Ray's resource, and you also have us. You have another resource, so you can also reach out to us if you want to catch your child up as their fault. Thinking of my words here. You want to catch your child up, right? Because they've fallen behind as a result of the pandemic or for other reasons. You could reach out to us as well. We are another resource for you. If you are we'll also do online tutoring as well. So that's another resource if you like the online tutoring. So to each his own, right? But we are a resource for you. So if you are looking to for that homework help, you're looking for that extra practice, you're looking to catch your child up after falling behind, you can reach out to us. Our website again is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. And I know I'm speaking a lot, but I'm trying to get it all in here. I also encourage you to leave your feedback about today's episode. So you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts about the episode for today. If you're listening on any podcast platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeartRadio, drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts about the episode for today. Drop a star, drop a rating. Let us know your thoughts. However you are taking in the sound of my voice, let me know your feelings about the episode for today. All of that feedback will help us, will help, it will help me, it'll help my company, it'll help all of us to become better, better servants for you. All right. And that is it. I thank you again so much for sticking it out with us on Hot Topics. I look forward to you joining me, Gabrielle, at the next episode of Hot Topics. Thank you again, you guys. And now I am signing off. Bye, you guys.